Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Global Happiness Today YouTube channel. It's about to go down. It's now getting very messy in PDP as another governor, in fact, another governor, a strong ally, a brother to Atiku Abubakar, is set to turn against Atiku Abubakar, who happened also to be one of the strong cardinal members of the PCC, that's the campaign team of Atiku. He's set to join Wike, but a lot of Nigerians believe there's something fishy about the join. But you need to listen to his allegations against Atiku, then you judge if there is a sinister plan to destabilize Wike's camp or if genuinely Atiku is just plain wicked based on what he said about Atiku. But before we go into the news proper, I would like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as you update our channel on YouTube. Well, according to the news, Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State has accused the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), Atiku Abubakar, of plotting to sabotage his re-election. In a letter written to the national chairman of the party, Ayu, and dated November 3rd, 2022, Mohammed alleged that Atiku has threatened to punish him for contesting against him during the party's presidential primaries. The letter reads in part, and I quote, "There have been undisguised efforts to sabotage my re-election and impose on the state a governor from another party who is ready to satisfy their selfish interests to the detriment of the larger interest of the people of the state. I wish to state that I am indeed surprised by the underserved of Atiku Abubakar towards me. He knows that I've always regarded him as an elder, and I've always accorded him all the respect he deserves as the shining light of our Northeast zone, and a foremost nationalist and statesman. In recognition of this, we built and named one of the most important roads in Bauchi after him. You would recall that ahead of the formal flag-off of the presidential campaign, we hosted a major rally for him in Bauchi. Could all this have been swept away simply because of legitimate step I took, which actually validated his victory? Why would he still teach me a lesson, in quote, when his trashing me at the primary is humbling enough? Why would he allow political opportunists to ride on his back to wreak vengeance on his younger brother, whose sole preoccupation is the upliftment of the people of Bauchi? While Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and his political cohort insist that I must be punished for contesting against him during the presidential primary, the self-acclaimed kingmakers around the Wazirin Adamawa want a pound of flesh from me because I have refused to capitulate to their unbridled sense of entitlement, which is pregnant with selfish and dictatorial tendencies. It would interest you to know that faced with these adversary conditions, I complained to both our presidential candidate and his running mate, as well as party elders whose names I do not want to mention here. Yet the treasury has escalated under the watchful eyes of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, who to all intents and purposes is the leader of the groups. Based on the above, I wish to make the final following point: that our presidential candidate should issue a public statement disowning renegade elements who are neck deep in the anti-party plot of subverting my re-election and my re-election effort, and to admonish members of our party to reject the devious overtures and manipulative strategies of my detractors. Short of complete public repudiation of those incognizances within a reasonable time frame, coupled with explicit guarantee of sincerity of purpose and public support of my re-election by the presidential candidate, I may withdraw from the PCC and feel free to create new measures and feel free to create new measures and strategies that would guarantee the election and re-election of all PDP candidates in Bauchi and myself. This is practically the same thing that is happening in Benue. It's happening in Rivers. May likely happen in Abia. May also likely happen in Oyo. And now, bit by bit, they are increasing. Even if this is supposed to be some sort of propaganda, the weighty allegations, the allegations is laying at the table of Wazirian Adamawa, and I'm talking about Atiku, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, is very weighty, it's heavy, calling him that he is dictatorial. This is coming from a younger brother, supposedly a younger brother to Atiku. This is coming from someone who is an ally, a a loving person to Atiku, and is already calling him a dictator, one who is taking and aggrieved, according to his narration, aggrieved that he even dared to contest against him in a legal, legitimate manner, which is also the right of Bala Mohammed. I remembered that I think along the line to the person of is it Balatu that Jonathan calls his brother and son, political son and all that. I don't know if that was there was internal secrecies that went on during the re-election of Jonathan too, where it's a northern governor also who was pretending to work for Jonathan actually was working against him. Now this is happening, and he's calling out his own brother, Atiku Abubakar, say, for me to believe that you're not working against me because this has happened. I've complained to you privately, and you are the head of all this group, and you've not done anything. So I'm coming public. If you're not going to make a public statement in a particular frame of time, if you're not going to tell these guys to desist and promise with all sincerity, the same sincerity that Wike and the rest are shouting and calling for, that you will vote me in for my re-election, then I may have to find a way around mine. Now the question is, are we? This is from another angle, but the people are looking at it from a different angle too. How are we so sure that this is not stage managed also for Wike to say, welcome my brother, come into our camp? So that just the same thing Tambua did to him in the primaries, PDP primaries, where he thought Tambua was with him, and timing it into the whole thing, Tambua stepped down for Atiku and gave all his vote, all his followers to Atiku. So how are we so sure this is not the same game plan coming now from Bala Mohammed, pretending to be aggrieved so that he can join the weakest team to find out their every move, because for everything they do, they come as a team, meet to concretize their plan. So if Bala Mohammed is in that team, they will meet, concretize their plan, but Atiku will hear it first. And why would the brother wake up this late into the campaign and insist that you're doing something? For Wike to be able to buy the idea, it has to come public. So Wike may need to be very careful if this is stage managed and stage planned. I guess that's what we're going to wrap it up. Let's put in that conversation. What's your take? Do you think this is stage planned just to enter Wike's plan, to wreck Wike's plan? Or do you think genuinely, based on what he said, the Wazirian Adamawan kingmaker, I'm talking about Atiku, may actually be dictatorial based on the fact that based on the things that are happening and not the unifier that Rena calls him? Let's interact.